At CBF, we know that for you to change your body, you need to change your mind. Exercise and eating healthy is only part of the plan. We care about our members as we care about our family, because our members become our family. It is not about competition, but support. It is not about being the strongest or the fastest, but about you defeating your negative self. It is about working together and making the task challenging and have fun. By the end, what matters is not how hard the session was, but that you take control of your mind so you can take control of your body. My name is Sandro Torres, and I'm happy you are part of our family. Welcome to Custom Body Fitness.
Okay everybody, welcome to another video. Today we're gonna be talking about what's losing weight, what's fat loss, the difference between muscle and fat. I'm gonna begin with the introduction by telling you that I want to tell you the difference between one and the other, but that doesn't mean that you have to do what I'm doing to stay healthy. Okay? If you are already eating healthy and if you are already exercising, you're already healthy. So you don't have to go the extra mile for you to think that you need to be healthier. Yes, you can be healthier, you can do better, but if your concern is to be healthy, once again, I think by you exercising and eating healthy, that's good. Now, if you want to take your weight loss to another level, this is going to be a good video for you. So let's begin first about losing weight. Let's talk about that. If you start dieting, you are going to lose weight. That doesn't mean that it's healthy. That means that you're going to start losing weight. Are you going to be in a better position than right now where you are if you have 28 extra pounds of fat? I don't know if you're going to be in a different position, but by you eating healthy, that's going to make you healthier. But by you dieting, that doesn't mean because you're losing the weight, it's going to make you healthier. So let's go over details on that a little bit. If you start dieting and you eat only protein or fats or whatever, you probably are going to start losing weight. Now, the weight that you're losing, it's gonna be probably your carbohydrates. You're gonna be dehydrating yourself. You are gonna be losing muscle mass, and you also gonna be losing bone mass if you don't exercise. So you may be able to lose a couple pounds of fat, but most likely you're losing everything in your body that you need for you to stay healthy, to avoid injuries, to be strong, to have energy, for your body to work optimum. If you dieting and then exercise, it's better, but depending on the exercise. If you start running, yes, your bone density start getting stronger because you're doing a high impact exercise, and those bones need to accustom to the high impact that you're putting into it. So your bone mass loss is not gonna be as much as for example, if you don't exercise. The same with your muscle mass. If you start doing some kind of exercise, moving your muscles it's actually going to help you, but that doesn't mean that you're going to increase your muscle. It means that it's going to take longer for you to lose those muscles that you are using, but you're going to continue losing those muscles. So it's very important that you understand that dieting is not going to help you to lose weight in an optimum way. If you start eating healthy, yes, that's going to help you because you're going to get all the nutrients that you need, such as the carbohydrates that you may lose if you start dieting, and the dehydration that might happen because you don't have enough carbohydrates in your body. And also by you eating healthy, you are going to maintain that bone mass even more, because you put in those nutrients that your body need to keep that bone mass. So keep that in mind. That's only an introduction about what's healthy and what's not healthy. So now that you know that, let's talk about a big issue when people don't understand this. And this is so important because remember, your beliefs affects what you think, and if you don't see what you believe in and you see something different, you may get discouraged because you don't see in the results, even though you are getting results on your program. So let's put that example again about you dieting and not exercising. You may lose 5 pounds in a month, you may lose 8 pounds, you may lose 10 pounds, depending on how many extra pounds you have. But there is a lot of people who lose a lot of weight in the first month, second month. But that doesn't mean, once again, that because you're losing the weight, you're healthy. You're losing bone mass, you're losing muscle mass, you're losing carbohydrates, you're losing water, to just mention a couple of things that you're losing. Of course, when you get on the scale, if you dieting, the scale is gonna say that you lose 5 pounds or maybe 10 pounds. Now, out of those 10 pounds, what's the percentage of fat that you lost? Did you know how many pounds of fat that you lost within the bone, the muscle, the water, the carbohydrates, and other things that you may be losing with this? No, you don't know the difference, right? The scale will just say you lost 10 pounds. That's all it says. Doesn't tell you what happened. Even if you get a haircut, if you used to have long hair, you get a haircut, a pound off of your hair, half a pound, the scale is not gonna compare that, right? So pay attention to that. If you're drinking a lot of water, if you drink 3 liters of water compared to 1 liter or half a liter of water, I don't know how much a liter of water weighs, but it does weight in your stomach when you drink it. And when you dehydrated, it's a big difference, right? So the scale is not gonna tell you that. So now I want you to think that the scale is not gonna tell you the truth, because you're weighing yourself when you're losing weight. If you're interested in losing only weight because of the heck of losing the weight, I don't think it's healthy, because you can lose all the nutrients that I just mentioned a couple minutes ago. I don't want to go over again because I think I mentioned it 3-4 times already. So pay attention to that. It's super important that you don't want to lose weight for losing weight. Now, there is a lot of ways you can measure your fat. That doesn't mean that all are reliable, and that doesn't mean that all are accurate. There is 3 ways that are the most accurate ones. One is infrared, the other one is hydro weighing, and the other one is skin fold. I do the skin fold. There is other ones, such as the impedance. With the if you get on the scale and measure your fat, it has some electromagnetic signals that send to your body and it measures your fat. And also are things that you can hold, scales that you can hold on the side, and little machines that you can hold. Those are good. They're not perfect. They're not very reliable, but it's something that can work, and they're very affordable. But I really recommend you do a skin fold. It's the next step, which is accurate, it's affordable, and then you have the infrared, and then you have the hydrostatic hydro weighing, which is a lot more expensive. But you can use those. Those 2 are the most accurate ones, the last 2 ones that I mentioned. The reason why the measurements are so important because you want to know how much fat you lost instead of how much nutrients you're losing, such as your muscles, your water, your bone, and your carbohydrates. When you take the measurements, if you lost 5 pounds of muscle or you got dehydrated, those measurements are gonna tell you you still have the same fat, but you lost something that is very important for you. It doesn't matter if you lost 5 pounds, because it's not about losing weight, it's about losing fat. If you want to look good, if you want to be healthy, if you want to have an attractive body, your muscle and your bones know what you want to lose, right? You want to lose the fat. You see many people who say, oh, I want to lose this. I'm losing weight, but I can't lose the stomach. Well, there is some factors, such as many people store the fat there and they are losing fat, but then they're focusing on that area because that's where they store the fat the most. There is such a factors that they're still wobbly, they're still soft, because they're not losing fat. The fat is still there. So it's very important that you track your progress by measuring your fat. Not your weight, your fat. I'm putting this out there many times and I'm repeating myself too much because many people don't get this point. It's not about losing weight, it's about losing fat. When I train my clients, for example, I notice that some of them actually gain weight in the beginning. People who exercise before and that stop exercising, their muscle have memory. And they come exercise for a month and so on, and I measure them, and instead of losing 5 pounds, they gain 5 pounds. But I take the measurements, and then I notice that what they gain, it was muscle. They might lose 1-2 pounds of fat, which is not the best results, but still. But what they put is muscle, which is very good. It's important because it's going to help you to increase your metabolism. Plus, it's going to help you have that type body that you're looking for. Some people, for example, they haven't exercised, they haven't lifted weights, and they come and exercise, and and when I take the measurement, sometimes the muscle doesn't go up right away. And the reason is because the muscle fibers, they need to recruit other muscle fibers. So sometimes people are getting stronger if they haven't exercised before, and before the muscles start growing, the muscle fibers need to recruit other muscle fibers, and that's the reason why they start getting stronger, but they're not gaining the muscle yet. And it comes to the point that all the muscle fibers in the big muscle group recruit all together, that the muscles start growing. So that's why the measurements are so important, because you want to know what's happening. When you take measurements, when you any measurements about fat and muscle, you want to know what's happening in your body. If you lost 10 pounds of what? Water? 10 pounds of carbohydrates? With those 10 pounds, you got some bone in it? Or you got some muscle with it? Or you really lost 10 pounds of fat? So, when you get on that scale, stop focusing on that scale. Start focusing on your fat percentage. Now, why is it so important to do weightlifting? Let's talk first for the people who want to stay healthy, and not for the people who want to look good. Which I bet looking good is not a bad idea, right? Everybody has their priorities, and with this video I'm not trying to persuade you to do one or the other. What I'm trying to do right here is just giving you the information for you to make a decision. If you want to be healthy, the reason why weightlifting is so important, first, because you're going to avoid injuries. Your muscles they're going to be strong. It's going to be difficult for you to strain a muscle. A lot of weak people, when they come and exercise, they strain their muscles in the beginning because their muscles are too weak. Now, it's something that of course it heals. In a week or 2 weeks, your body heals that small strain. But if you don't want to be straining your body so often, what you want to do is strengthen your body so your body is strong enough, ready for when you do any task, any physical task, your body has the strength. If you're gonna pick up a box, if you're gonna move furniture, if you're gonna push your car, if you're gonna pick up something from the floor, whatever you're gonna be doing, your body's not gonna strain. And the reason why it's not gonna happen is because your muscle is gonna be strong enough. If you just need to sprint, if you need to save somebody and you need to sprint and push him out of the way or pull him towards you or just protect him or whatever, the reason why you're sprinting, and you, instead of getting a tear, a muscle tear, your body's gonna be strong enough that you're not gonna get that tear. Another reason why strength training is so important to stay healthy is because if you're gonna fall, if you have the strength, you may not hit the floor because your muscles contract to keep you stable. If you're gonna fall back, your legs are so strong and your core is gonna go so strong, you ground it to the floor that you just go like this and then go back in position without falling. And the same when you go to the side, and the same when you go to the front. Your body is like a very strong chain with all those muscles very strong, that it's going to be difficult for you to fall. People who are weak fall and break bones because they don't have the strength. Which leads me to the next point. Strength training is also super important for your bone density. People who don't exercise, they do suffer osteoporosis in an early stage of age. The diet has to do a lot with that as well. I'm not saying that exercise is the whole key. There is different factors. Medication do contribute to osteoporosis, some of them. So it's important that you read the side effects of the medication that you're taking. Supplements do the same. So it's a good idea that you read the side effects of the supplement, or the ingredients of the supplement. It's a good idea that you improve your diet so you have enough nutrients for the bone. But the reason why exercising do help with osteoporosis and makes your bones very strong, and I told you this, I don't have anything to check, honestly, any of my clients with the bone density, but I have a couple clients who they go to their doctor and they check the bone density before they start exercising with me, and then after that. And the bone density they have before and after is such a big difference, and they're very happy with the bone density because they're improving and their bones become stronger and they're not gonna break as easy as how they used to be back before they're exercising. When you're exercising, your body, your bones need to meet the demand of the exercising, just like the muscle. So what the body does is making that bone stronger every single time to meet that demand. So next time if you fall, nothing will break because your muscles, your bones are going to be strong enough that if you hit them, it's going to be difficult to break. Of course, depending on the how hard you hit the muscle, what's the pressure that you put on the bone, but you can support a lot more pressure, of course, if your bone is stronger than it's weaker, close to osteoporosis where you can break it. I can tell you in my whole life I haven't broke a bone. Maybe because I'm careful, but I can tell you I have fall many times in my butt, in my face, out of my bike, you name it, hit myself many times, etc., and I haven't broken a bone yet. And I'm thank to God that hasn't happened, but I think one contributor to it is that I actually exercise and my bones are super strong. If you exercise and don't do weightlifting and you're eating healthy, you're already healthy, which is good. But if you want to go to the next level and don't break a bone and have strong muscles for the reasons that I just mentioned, then weightlifting is a good idea. And remember, if you increase in your weight, what I'm talking on you, if you weigh 5 pounds more, 10 pounds more after you start doing your weightlifting, that's a good thing. Of course, I'm talking if you're healthy, right? You want to track your progress. So make sure you do anything that measures your body composition before you are exercising, and then after, of course, not after, like you're gonna finish in 3 or 4 weeks. You're gonna continue with that new habit, right? But after 6 months, after 6 weeks, you wanna be track again, and then you're probably gonna gain some weight, and that weight that you're gonna be gaining is gonna be muscle. But if you, for any reasons you start increasing fat because you start eating not healthy anymore, that means that the measurements are gonna tell you that, and you know what to fix. But remember, if you're doing weightlifting and you're eating healthy and you increase your weight, that's a good thing because you adding muscle. You're not adding fat. You want that strength. You want those muscles. And strong muscles, they weigh more than weaker muscles, right? They're bigger, they're toner, they're gonna weigh a lot more. So it's okay. And you increasing your bone density, it's okay because your bones are gonna be stronger. They're gonna be heavier. You're gonna weigh more in that scale. If you are drinking a lot more water than before, though that extra water that you're drinking is going to weigh on the scale. You're gonna weigh more. So don't be afraid of gaining a couple pounds of good things. Let's mention that again. Muscle, bone, and water. Now let's talk about the benefits from people who wants to look good. My waist, when I buy pants, I've been 29 since I remember. My waist never got bigger. But what is getting bigger is my legs, my butt, my arms, my chest, and everything else. When I stand straight, my posture is a lot different than other people. And I'm not telling you this because I want to talk about myself. I just tell you this because I know you know this, and I know some of you want to hear this. So to see what's the benefit. I remember one day I standing in the grocery store. I was standing in the grocery store holding my stuff, and there is come this uh, nice lady. She comes to me, and she comes very close to me, and she say, "I just want to tell you that you are very handsome. Your posture is just impressive." And that make my day. I mean, it really make my day that I even pay for her groceries. She was so, and she said, "No, no, no, I didn't say no." Of course, I know that she didn't say that so I can pay her groceries. But she makes such a, the more than anything, what I think I was impressed of, she coming to me and telling me what she thought of me, because many people are afraid or they're shy to say that. So I pay her grocery store. But anyway, her grocery shopping. But anyway, my point out of that is that when you exercise, your posture is a lot better. You can tell the people who exercise the way they stand. You can tell the people who did surgery how they stand, how they look, and you see people who they exercise, the posture, the guide, how they present themselves. Not only that, but of course, your muscles are gonna be toner. Like it's good to say that the people when they see you, they impress the way that you look, not because the way that you look only, but they know the effort that you have to put behind that. When you get a surgery done, you can tell the difference between one and the other person, big time. And not only the difference, but the person who exercise keeps a habit and is gonna maintain that for until it stops the habit. But since that person is practicing that habit, most likely is gonna keep it forever. The person who did surgery did it because doesn't have the habits. In one point, that person is gonna regain that weight, unless adopts the habit of the person who is actually having that attractive body because it's because of exercise. Remember, when you exercise, your butt doesn't lift. People say, like, I want to lift my butt. That doesn't happen. When it happens is that the fat that you have in your butt disappears and the muscle that you have in your butt start growing. That's why it looks like it's lifting, but it's not lifting. The fat is disappearing and the muscle is growing. And people who say, oh, you see this? It's too loose. I want to get rid of this. I want to make it, I want to make it tone and solid. So same thing to the butt. When they say that, most people they have right here is fat. So this doesn't become hard. That fat goes away. You get rid of the fat. And when you're doing the strength training, the muscle that you have there start growing. And that's why it becomes smaller, toner, but the fat, it's gone. So that doesn't, that is not like the fat becomes stronger or the fat becomes firmer. The fat leaves the body and the muscles start growing. If I can put this as an example, if you have lard, lard is fat. You can harden the lard. The only way you can harden the lard is by you put it in the freezer. Once you put it on in the freezer under 36 degrees, then it gets hard. But then I hope you can live under 36 degrees without a clothes because that's the only way it's gonna get hard. But other way the fat doesn't get hard. Doesn't matter what you do with it because it's fat. So you need to burn it, right? The muscle is muscle. The muscle doesn't transform into fat. The muscle is muscle. So the muscle is like the steak that you buy, the big steak. When you buy the red meat, the big steak, or the chicken breast, that's the muscle. That's when you put it in your body. You're getting rid of the fat and you put in the muscle. And that's what makes you look attractive because you're toning your body. You're making a small waist. You're toning your abs. You're toning every single muscle group on your body, the way you stand, the way you walk, and things like that, and help you to be more attractive. And the last thing that I want to talk about is about when you exercise, you at least, of course, I'm not saying if you exercise only a week or 2 weeks, it has to be a habit. When you have practiced exercising for a habit for a couple of years, you get younger every time. You actually add 10, 15, even 20 years to your lifespan. If you notice people who exercise and exercise in a young age, they look a lot younger than people who don't exercise. People who are not active, when they hit the 40, the 50, they have a lot of pains. Not only pains, they become very tight and they can't even bend over. And the bone density, once again, is very low. They develop osteoporosis and other diseases, diabetes, cancers, and so on. People who exercise are a lot healthier. It's harder for them to develop many of these diseases, especially osteoporosis, diabetes, because they're fighting this. Not only that, they're not losing muscle mass, they're putting muscle mass in their body. Therefore, they're not aging. Same thing with the bone mass, like you just mentioned. Instead of losing bone, they're adding bone. And that's actually helping because they're not aging. The bones are not aging. Their heart becomes weaker. The pump is a muscle, becomes weaker, doesn't pump the same blood when you aging. When you exercise, that pump, the heart, becomes stronger, so stays younger, sends more blood to the body. You send more blood to the body, you send more nutrients, you send more oxygen, you clean your waste faster, you heal faster. It's 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 doing everything that a younger person does when exercise when they exercise when you are in an older age. People who don't exercise, they lose all these abilities. Use it or lose it. So another benefit of exercising, weightlifting, is that you stay younger for a long period of time. Okay? I hope this video helps to understand the difference between losing weight, losing fat, adding muscle, adding fat, losing fat. If you have any questions, remember you can comment, you can share this. I hope you like this video. Put the thumbs up, and I'll see you next time.
Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. If you enjoyed the content offered here, then I know you will enjoy these books. These are great tools to lead you to successful weight loss, better health, and greater happiness.